Alright, this is Quidio chapter 1 to 2 on the basic question. Alright, so reading the question, we have the scores on the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, or IQ test, for ages 20 to 34 are approximately normally distributed with a population mean of 110 and a standard deviation of 25. So first thing is off, we already know two pieces of information. Population mean of 110, that's pretty large, and a standard deviation of 25. Alright, so we have these two pieces of information. We need to know probably how to calculate z-score. So I'm going to write the z-score formula, which is our value minus our population mean divided by standard deviation, and that will equal z-score. So knowing that, we need to find in our three questions, we need to find the percent of people aged 20 to 34 that have IQ scores above 100, percent have scores above 150, and how high of an IQ score is needed to be in the highest 25%. So, need to find z-scores for the first two, and then find what value is in the top 25%. So, starting off with A, we need to find what have IQ scores above 100. So, since that's going to be our number that replaces x, we can go ahead and do 100 minus 110, which is basically 10, over our standard deviation of negative 10, over our standard deviation of 25, now equal negative 0.4 as our z-score. Negative 0.4. Alright, so now that we have our z-score, we have to look it up in the chart and find where exactly negative 0.4 falls within the graph. So over here we can see negative 0.4 is 0.33446 or 34.46%. So that's its percentile within the graph. So 0.3446. Perfect. So let's move this back out of the way so we have more room. Alright, so now we know what the percentile is. But that's where the percentile is and not how much is above 100. So we actually need to do 1 or 100% divided by the 0.3446 or 34%. So let's convert this to percent because we need to find the percentile, not the actual decimal value. So 100 minus 34.46 is 65.54%. So the answer for A will be 65.54% have an IQ score above 100 in the age group of 20 to 34. So 65.54% of the data will have a score above 100 in the age group of 20 to 34. Alright, done. Coming back to part B. We need to find what percent have scores above 150. So first off, we have to replace the 100 with 150. So 150 minus 110 divided by 25. So that'll be 40 divided by 25, and let me write that out. 40 divided by 25, that will give us a z-score of 1.6. So the z-score of 1.6 we need to find on our chart for positive z-scores. So I'll bring that in. So 1.6 is 0.9452. So let's just write that down right here. 9452. Alright, now get the rest of the room to work. Alright, so that is our percentile value. So we need to know what percent have scores above 150 or 100% minus this 94.52. So 100% minus 94.52% equals 5.48%. So 5.48% will be above a score of 150. So we come over here, write that in. 5.48% of the people from ages 20 to 34 will have a score above 150. 150 in the IQ test. Alright, so part 2 is done. Now let's go on to C. So I'm going to clear off some of this space so we have some room to see what I'm doing and not get lost. Alright, since we have parts A and B done, now we can work on part C, where we need to find an IQ score needed to be in the highest 25%. So looking at our Z-score chart, score you need to be above 0.75 or closest to 0.75, 75% is 0.67 at 0.7486. So let's just write that down on our main thing. 0.67. That will be our Z-score that we need for this problem. Alright, so now that we have our Z-score, we already have the population mean and the standard deviation. So we can just say x minus 110 divided by 25 equals 0.67. Alright, so now we need to get x by itself. So that's multiplying 25 by 0.67, which is 16.75. And then we need to, and that's, so 16.75 is equal to x minus 110. Add 110 to both sides, which x will equal 126.75, or our score will be 127. So an IQ score will need to be at 126.75 or 127 as an actual score to be in the highest 25% of data. And that's our answer to C.